How's it going, everybody? This is PR Corey for another presentation. I don't know how long this presentation is going to be. Real quick, um, sorry about that. Uh, I was sitting up here watching something, Dragon Ball in particular. I'm going through the whole series as I'm in this root chakra thing. What I'm doing right now is watching. I'm going back and reflecting on a lot of stuff from my childhood. And one of the main things, like I've already relayed in the past and let people know, is that at the end of the day, I was really connected to a cartoon called Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z. Wasn't really into GT like that, but at the end of the day, this is something that I'm doing. Just going back and looking on something. But as I was watching Dragon Ball Z, um, I got to thinking, of course, about my work, the Nazca lines and everything like that. The Nazca Estrella in particular is what mine, of course, goes into. Um, so at the end of the day, what I'm about to show today is something dealing with what crossed my mind. Within Dragon Ball, they have to use something called a Dragon Ball radar. Now I brought this up briefly in the past about the whole radar aspect of the Nazca lines possibility and everything. But I saw something else today that I just wanted to show real quick that kind of almost, I ain't gonna say confirms it, but it really stands out. So I'm gonna share something on the screen real quick. So right here, what you can see is the Nazca Estrella that I've been talking about for the longest. Right here in the center, right here, this center aspect. This is what I've been drawing out. Of course, the sun star right there in the center, especially the everything. But the main thing that I was saying last time, as far as the radar, the idea that I got, this looks like a radar right here. These two circles, because within my work, mine is the only work as far as any decryption of the Nazca lines. No one else can really explain these two. I ain't gonna say balls, but circles that are over here. Whatever these constructs are, nobody's work can explain that. When I overlay it on mine, it lays out, and it's like a zoom type of effect. You would have to be able to. It's like it's pointing out something on the layers of my work with the dots and everything. So and that's only possible with the perfect overlay, and not, and of course, let be alone the overlay right there as far as the Nazca Estrella. Um, the sun star right there in the center. This right here, I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit more. Dang. This right here is a dang, man. As you can see, I'm just zooming it in closer so it can be seen. These two right here is what I'm talking about. So trying to zoom back out. All right, now I'm gonna type in a radar screen. Now, anybody who's seen a radar, you know that there are two different dots that pop up on the screen, and it's usually set up into a 45-degree a compass type of look with circles around it. Exemplifying and letting people know what distance something is away. And that really makes a lot of sense. If we talking about, if this is a star map, it's either or. Like, there's two things up in the sky as far as what we look at in the sky. If we're not going to talk about aliens, if we're not going to talk about anything else foreign or made up, there's two things definitively that are in the sky. That's weather that we look at up there, and then there's also the stars. Those are the two different things that are up there in the sky definitively. We look up there and we can't make that up. You see clouds, which is weathering that goes on up there, condensation, and then you see the stars. Nothing beyond that. Anything else that we do see in the sky is something that's man-made. You know, I mean, of course, birds, but we're talking about, you know, stuff that affects us. So the stars, of course, and then you got weather. Okay, so those are two. So upon that radar map with the whole radar thing, and that's why I was saying my connection to Dragon Ball Z and everything, the character. See, when I was younger, I would always, I think that most people, whenever they watch anything, they always try to find out or look at certain things as far as the main character. They feel like they see is in common with themselves. So I did that a lot too. But I realized when I look back, when I first started to get into Dragon Ball Z, for whatever reason, I was more connected to Vegeta. I was not, you know, always the Goku one. I like Vegeta's attitude. His fighting style I felt like was different and more dominant than anybody's. I mean, Goku was, of course, he he was cold blood, and I know this is a cartoon, but honestly, Dragon Ball Z did it took cartoon martial arts, the aspect of martial arts within a cartoon to a whole nother level. When you really pay attention to the animation of Dragon Ball Z and the fighting style, I mean, just the bare detail that was put into the cartoon, the style is amazing within itself. Um, that's part of what kept me on it. It's not a childish type of aspect. I it really has some adult qualities to it. Now, Dragon Ball, of course, as I'm watching it and everything, it's more. It has that childish type of feel, of course, because he's a boy. But as it continues to go on and everything, but the Dragon Ball that they got now, Dragon Ball Super, it's just I ain't really too big on it like that. But it's got, of course, it's childish. It's a cartoon. A lot of people really, you know, as far as anime and cartoons, they really, you know, are strict on that. But it is a cartoon at the end of the day. But there's lessons that can be learned from anything, to a degree, you know. But within that anime itself, it's a lot that can be learned. But I wanted to show that right there. But I was thinking about a radar, and my point that I was going to show today about this whole radar outlet thing, or you know, speculation right now based on facts, is I'm gonna go right back to the Estrella real quick, the Nazca Estrella. Now look at the Sun Star. I just went over the radars for these two over here. Okay, all right. So I'm just showing that real quick, or I showed that real quick. Now look at this Sun Star right here. The point that I'm focusing on or pointing out right now is follow my mouse. The Chicana, okay? I'm going to show you what the Chicana looks like. You see this right here? That's this right here. All right. That's what I'm talking about. That shape. That's very significant, okay? Now I'm going to go and show what the Chicana looks like, because I'm showing and proving as well that is the Chicana. I'm not just reteaching anything. I got a point that I got to make today, because when we think of because it's literally almost like investigating and coming to a conclusion. Like it's a whole huge experiment. Golly, man. Now, what was I about to do? Goodness, what was I about to do? Estrellas. Chicana, that's right. All right, this is the Andean cross, or the Chicana, the Inca cross. All right, that's exactly what that is. All right, remember the motion and everything I just did. I mean, that's exactly what it is. The sides is just long. That's it. But this is what I've been going over with you. This is what I'm. Oh, that's amazing. And I've seen this before, but it always strikes me when I see it. That's amazing. That looks like my work, like the fractalization of it. It ain't it exactly, but it's its own nature of it. See, the numerological aspect is not being expressed right here. And see, with a culture like this that was advanced more than us as far as certain things, and this is very much like my work. That's amazing, man. But they were probably already putting the key components that I'm outlining and showing right now and trying to teach y'all about the importance of. They probably were already taking this symbol because all this is a replica of the central aspect of my work, the mother herb diagram that I drew out, and basically replicated it themselves. See what with this whole with this whole Nazca lines aspect, especially this Estrella, the star maps that I'm showing y'all and everything, and the talk of time travel and stuff like that. We really got to look into it deeper, man. And the Ouroboros, whether everything that's happening, it has possibly already happened and stuff like that. We got to look into the things that we've talked about and things that people have said, because what I'm showing y'all is that knowledge was lost. It wasn't known. People look at this symbol and it's only very few ways that they explain it or that they can come up with as far as to explain it. But if you look into this and research actually what I'm talking about, research the Andean cross, the Inca cross, you will realize that they don't even have the interpretation the science that I have behind it. They literally don't. Literally, this whole culture. And literally, when you look into it, everywhere that you research, they say the truth behind it is known to very few. And it's kind of like the square and compass almost. I'm just being real. And I would see why, because it's literally an encrypted square and compass. But that's the Chicana right there. So I'm going to see if it pop up with the Nazca. Yeah, so I'm just doing that right there just to show that. That's a drawing right there, and you can see that that's the Nazca real Estrella right there. You can see the outline right there drawn on that. This central aspect right here is where my eye would be at on my work. Now, what's my point in all of this today? What I came across today upon watching Dragon Ball Z and chose to type in today is a radar, a particular radar that I didn't know about. Now, think about it. These lines can only be viewed from where? The air. The air. They could only be viewed from the air, specifically. Okay? That's very important, because when I typed in a weather radar for aviation, this is what popped up. It's a particular, and I got to go to it and find it, because I was going through it. There it is right there. This is what popped up. This thingy right here. Now, if you pay attention to what this looked like, they got different views of it and everything. What does that look like? Look familiar? U.S. Global Hawks will be upgraded with weather radar. Aviation International News. So that's why I'm just showing this right now, just to show the trail that, just think about that, like a satellite almost. That's exactly what that's shaped like the Chicana. The center of the work that I just showed, the Nazca lines. And with that being the center, the radar, if this was connected to a radar, just like the radar screens, like was shown on the Nazca lines, man. So this could have been some particular type of weather radar. See, weather on a macro level is the stars in the sky. That's that's kind of like what it is, forecasting and everything. The weather that we have here, as far as rain and all of that stuff, that's micro weather. But the stuff that's happening in the stars, that's macro weather. The stuff that's happening up there in that environment that we just can't control. But it's literally chemical interactions going on up there that we can't control. That's what them stars is doing. Those are literally chemical interactions. And yeah, if you look at this right here, this center aspect, it looks just, this would be the radar thing that I just showed right here, which is the main aspect. This is where this is the control center. We can clearly see that right here. This is the control center. And these two would be some type of radar screens giving you some type of specific information about some location either, or that's just one speculation. But of course, yeah, I just wanted to share that real quick. And this wasn't gonna be no long video. That's something real important and real on point. And that's why I be telling people, you think somebody probably just drawing out numbers, but literally I'm coming across stuff literally. And regardless of the fact is that Chicana looks like their weather radar, the whole geometry of it. And you can apply what I'm showing in real life, real talk. I'm not copying or looking at anybody else's work or listening to anybody and coming back and copying them and taking anything that they say and switching it around and stuff like that. I'm literally coming organic, and I got my own trail literally built on my own side. Literally built my own trail, and it just happens to connect to the whole picture of flat earth and the whole truth just all together. The shape of the earth, geometry of the earth. I mean, not even just flat earth, but the essence of creation. That's why I say my stuff is deeper than flat earth, man, because flat earth is you're talking about earth, but I'm talking about the essence, the generative principle. Like literally, when you look at my work, it's literally the generative principle, what we talking about creation. I ain't just talking about it. I got it literally, drawing out, what can be explained, when it comes to 0 point energy, but people trying to, explain that and everything. People don't realize that 0 point and 9 point is the same thing. The dotted I is the 9th letter. But anyway, man, I just wanted to show that because that's really on point. And I'm gonna go ahead and end this one here, man. I ain't gonna stay on here long. That's all I had to show. Peace out.